Good afternoon. My name's Neil Thompson. I'm here at the British Film Institute. I'm on the WTS stand here, who've provided a great deal of equipment for the show. One of the pieces of equipment they've brought along today is the Sony F5 camera. This is a 4K camera in a very neat and tidy little package that gives you a very kind of gentle introduction to the world of 4K. You can start by just shooting HD or 2K if you prefer onto S/S cards. And there's a couple of S/S card slots that will be very familiar to anyone who's used an EX1 or an EX3 on the side of the card here. These cards slot in, and your workflow is exactly the same as it would have been with an EX1 and an EX3, but you have the benefit of a large format sensor downsampled from extremely high 4K resolution with a PL lens mount at the front end of the camera to give you an extremely high image quality onto. Well, there's a variety of codecs. You could start nice and simple using the MPEG-2 codec that's built into the machine, 50 megabits per second, onto the S/S cards, workflow same as it ever was with an EX1 or an EX3. Alternatively, if you want to take things a step further, you can move on to the XAVC codec that is built into this camera. That's a slightly more sophisticated codec, brand new and shiny, and gives you the benefits of 10-bit 422 intra-frame recording, as well as things like variable frame rate, so that you can ramp up the frame rate to 120 frames a second on this particular camera model at the moment. By the end of December, it'll have gone up to 180 frames a second, all at the full high-definition resolution, which is quite impressive for a camera of this size. If you want to get very clever, you can put the RAW recorder, the SRR5, on the back of the camera, and that will record 16-bit linear RAW files at a very high data rate onto the internal AXS card that fits into this slot here. That 500 gigabyte card will record for an hour at 4K full RAW resolution, which is handling an awful lot of data. If you don't have any immediate need for 4K recording, you can manage perfectly well without this RAW recorder bolted onto the back of the camera and just use the S/S slots. The F5 is also capable of recording 4K onto the internal S/S cards, but in order to get it squeezed onto those S/S cards, you have to compress it via the XAVC codec.